Hey there, guys and gals, hip cats, cool kittens, friends and foes. Good morning, multiverse. This is the Back of the Cereal Box podcast. I feel like I'm a little bit discombobulated this morning. 2020 has been a rough year, but we're going to look at what was best this year and what we're looking forward to in the coming year, and we're going to do that right now. Hey there, guys and gals. Welcome back to the Back of the Cereal Box podcast. I am your host, the prophet of pop culture, John B. Pyka, but you can call me Johnny. And if you know anything about me, Star Wars movies and Avengers comic books made me who I am today. And I am joined by my lovely and talented, cute as can be, adorable co-host, the gamer girl, Aubry Brewer. How you doing, Aubry?
I'm good. Trying to wake up.
Well, wake up.
I know.
I did actually struggle a little bit this morning. So I got you. Dee Bartee has said she will not be joining us this morning. Now, she said that before. But we'll see. We will see. She's got a birthday today for one of her daughters. And I told her, well, that's why we do this at 8 a.m. So you can get this out of the way and have all day with your family. But for those of you who are just joining us live this morning, here's how this works. We're going to sit down with a big bowl of our favorite breakfast cereal, or in my case, something brand new that I'm trying for the first time today. And we invite you guys to join us on the couch in the virtual living room as we talk about the cool things in geek pop culture, in particular, our best and worst, or our best of 2020. We're going to be positive about 2020, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to look forward to in 2021. And as you guys are watching, you can post comments, interact with us, and we will react to those comments and answer your questions. And Aubry, do you got a bowl of cereal with you this morning?
I do not. My stomach wasn't feeling well. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee, but I need something. I haven't felt well since yesterday.
That's not good, but you look good.
Thank you.
So Aubry is a Twitch streamer, gamer girl, and you can see her Twitch handle right there, Aubry X1 or Aubry times 1. So make sure you check out her Twitch stream and see what new games she's playing or whatnot. Now, this morning I have caramel Apple Jacks, and they don't smell real good. I'm just gonna be honest. You have you ever had a caramel apple?
I have, but those don't look like they would smell good.
They smell exactly like a caramel apple. But
and that's bad?
But with a slight tinge of chemical.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I say this every episode that we do. When I was a kid, we didn't have an iPad or iPhone at the breakfast table. So we had the back of the cereal box. This one is great. This one has the Carnival. Welcome to the Carnival for caramel or caramel. And it's got all these great games and puzzles on it. And so if you're a kid sitting at the breakfast table watching cartoons, or, cartoons aren't on yet, your mom and dad have the news on, you're getting ready for school, that cereal box is going to be epic. So we're going to try this, and I'm going to give you my on-air review. Let us see. I gotta get the milk to permeate it just a little bit.
I usually like mine still a little crispy. I don't know. I'm weird. I don't like it to be dissolved in the milk.
All right. So it doesn't taste exactly like it smelled. And it doesn't really taste like Apple Jacks. At least not what I remember Apple Jacks tasting like. This has a little bit more of a fruity flavor, but we're going to go on with it. We got 5 viewers watching. Hey, guys, if you're watching, StreamYard doesn't tell us who is watching, so go ahead and post us a comment and let us know that you're watching just so that we can say hi to you. That would be great.
And I will say that the last time I tried to stream was the other night, and I need my TV replaced really bad. And that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. I got the worst headache because I was trying to play Call of Duty, and there was a black reticle. And I don't get headaches, but
what's a reticle?
It's the dot where you're aiming down the sights on the gun.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And it wasn't a colored one. So on my TV screen, I couldn't see it. You probably saw on Instagram where I posted a picture of my TV screen, and there's a big, huge black spot on it. Anyway, I got the worst throbbing headache trying to focus on it, and then I couldn't even play the rest of the game because the campaign has copyright songs back to back. They're all really good songs, but I'm not trying to get a DMCA strike, but anyway, if anybody sees that that's my only VOD, that's the reason why that was like my worst night probably.
Well, so have you been reading about the new legislation that just got passed?
About the DMCA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was really
stimulus bill.
Yeah, that's why I was really upset about that, is because most of the time that's an accident, and games will play copyright songs and people will get DMCA striked for those accidents. So does that mean that everybody's going to get charged with a felony and go to jail now?
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's ridiculous.
It's not the music in the game anymore. It is now the actual game.
No, what?
Yeah. So the people who were behind the legislation were all the record labels, all the movie studios, and all the major game manufacturers. Now, there are ways around, and the law isn't in effect yet. It'll take a while to phase in, and there are going to be a lot of people who are going to fight against it. But it was written specifically to shut down Twitch streamers.
Because they're against Jeff Bezos, because Amazon owns it. Mm-hmm.
Well, and Twitch DJs, and to shut down these reaction videos where they're playing clips of copyrighted songs, clips of copyrighted TV shows and movies, and doing reactions and making money using copyrighted material.
That reminds me, I have to change my alerts because I have just a 10-second clip of a song playing as my donation alert, and I think it's like a 70s song, so most people probably wouldn't even recognize it unless they watch JoJo the anime, but it's an anime that plays a lot of 70s music. So anyway,
we watched that here in the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Carlin Stewart says, "Morning, guys. Better living through chemistry or via chemistry." That's right. And my good friend Lynn Edwards popped in and said, "Hi, John." Hi, Lynn. Glad you guys are watching. So Aubrey, that's what's going on with that legislation that was just passed. And, that's why,
hurts my soul.
we use only original or original music on this show, or royalty-free music. And I still get strikes. I have to edit out the music that we use for our theme song and the music in our commercials. I have to edit it out of the audio version that gets posted to Spotify, because Spotify will not accept the podcast with our original music in it.
I can see that being a pain. Someone said, this big guy on YouTube, he was saying when he was talking about the DMCA strike thing, he brought up Cyberpunk as an example because they have a streamer mode where it'll turn off the copyright music, but even then you can still get a DMCA strike.
Well, that's right. So here's we're not going to get into the weeds on it here because there's still a lot of dissecting of the law, but
Obviously,
basically it comes down to this, is that you can get permission from the people who own those copyrights to use it. And as long as you can document that you either are paying the royalties or that you have documented permission, you're good. But this will change the landscape of YouTube, of Twitch, quite a bit. So anyway, now Aubrey, you missed our Christmas loot episode because AT&T was down because of the terrorist bombing in Nashville. Did you get anything really good that you weren't able to share with us?
I was thinking about it last night. I was like, I wonder if he's going to bring it up or if we're going to have time. I did get a lot of good. Here's one thing I got. It's a bitty boomer. It actually plays really loud. Yeah, that I got a lot of Grogu stuff.
So is that a USB speaker?
Well, it's a USB to charge, but it's Bluetooth. It's the cutest thing.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, sorry. I got a Grogu. So weird saying Grogu instead of Baby Yoda. What do you call? Koozie. And it's so cute. You might, I should have had it ready. But, and then I also got a controller holder. It's the coolest thing. Actually, let me go grab that.
Okay.
That one is worth grabbing.
Well, now while she's doing that, last week we did our Christmas salute episode, and Carlin Stewart says BMI is going to love the fee increase. That's right. They are. Ooh, that's a cool game holder. And ASCAP also, yes. And that's what this is all about, Carlin, is getting people, artists, and the people who created the product, making sure that they get paid for their work being used by other people who are getting paid using their work. All right, Aubrey, that's a controller holder?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be just for PS4, but I've managed to make it work for my PS5 controllers. But I could not stop staring at this when I first took it out of the box.
That's fantastic. My Grogu is sitting on the shelf right behind my Resolute desk in the Houdini room. All right, so while I've been eating this Apple Jacks caramel cereal, it's gotten better. I didn't think I was going to like this when I opened the box because I love the smell of cereal in the morning. It smells like victory. But as I've gotten into it, I like it more and more. So that's going to be a winner. So any other cool things you got, Aubrey, that you want to bring up?
A lot of Grogu stuff.
A lot of Grogu stuff. Well, I thought I was done with the Christmas loot until the after Christmas sales. Excellent. $9.95 at Walgreens. Marvel Legends. This is the silver Iron Man suit that John Byrne did on his run of Iron Man and West Coast Avengers. It's my favorite Iron Man suit, actually. And let's see. No, I got to save this one for last. This is one that was a GameStop exclusive. So it was really hard to find. I've been looking for this for over a year, and I finally snagged the Superior Octopus. This was when Dr. Octopus was in Peter Parker's body, and he became the Superior Spider-Man. Then Peter Parker came back, and he became the Superior Octopus for a minute, and then he died.
I actually didn't know about that part. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Oh, did I say Walmart, Carl? I meant Walgreens. Walgreens, all of the Marvel Legends series at Walgreens are clearance, $9.95.
I can't remember if you said Walgreens or not either, but I think Walmart went in my head too.
Well, Walmart has a clearance aisle too, and their Marvel Legends figures and Star Wars Black figures are on clearance for $11, but they've been pretty much picked over. But Walgreens, they don't have the clearance price on the shelf. You don't know that it's only $9.95 until you ring it up. Now,
Right.
a friend of mine told me that was happening, and I'm telling you guys now that is happening. So even though it says $19.95 on the shelf, it's $9.99 when you ring it up. Then Target, after Christmas discounts, 40% off. I finally got Luke and Yoda.
Oh,
The Dagobah training set. Run, 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 jump. I can be your backpack while you jump. You know that song?
no, I don't.
You don't know Poke Me in the Coconut?
I don't guess I do know.
Oh, I wish I had that on a loop. Okay, I would get that. Basically, the bad lip syncing guys did this music video from Return of the Jedi or from Empire Strikes Back,
Right.
and it's so hilarious. Hilarious.
I bet it is.
You got to watch it.
Sounds like a goofy song.
Seagull's gonna come. Poke you in the coconut, and
But
they did.
Star Wars figures and stuff like that. Even just little things like I think when the third trilogy came out, someone from when I worked somewhere, we did a Secret Santa thing, and this older woman did not know what to get me, and someone was like, "Well, we heard her talking about Star Wars. Get her that." So they got me like these little tiny ships, which I never took them out of the box because I figured maybe one day they'll be worth something. That's how I would be with that. I'm sure you're the same way. Like just because of collector, you take them out of the box.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to.
No, these will all be taken out of the box, put on stands, and displayed. Scott Hitchcock, my buddy, he just put seagulls. Stop it now.
I feel so out of the loop.
Everybody.
I'm so out of the loop.
That's all right. You gotta watch it. Seagulls, Stop It Now is the name of the song.
Okay.
And Scott Hitchcock says it's such a great song. It is so funny. It is so funny. Then I couldn't believe it. There was this rumor that Target had a big restock after Christmas, and they did. And they did. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, here's the funny story behind this. They tried to ring this up at the register, and it wouldn't come up in the system. And it said, not available until April 2021.
Oh, so they put it out on accident?
Someone put it out on the shelf by accident.
Oh.
And I negotiated with the manager. I said, look, it's on the shelf. It's on the shelf at $19.99.
Fair. It is fair.
And it's not my fault that you guys put it out early. And either you're going to hold it for me until you can sell it, or you're going to let me walk out of the store with it right now. And they did sell it to me. So,
I mean, that's only fair. That's just funny. It got put out 4 months early.
Yeah, it is. And I'd seen that wave was coming in April. Scott Hitchcock also wrote, caught that. Yeah, caught that. And they did. That's from Seagull Stop It Now. Basically, everything from this point on is going to be referenced to that music video that you have.
I see that. I don't know how I haven't seen this infamous video.
Will Aubry watch Seagull Stop It Now after the show? Says Outlook good. The Magic 8 Ball has spoken.
How does the 8 Ball just have that much doubt in me?
No, it says Outlook good.
Oh, I thought you said does not look good. I was like, what?
Now, you would think that would be the end of the Christmas loot. I didn't think I'd have anything to show this morning until 2 days ago. This is a book, Mighty Avengers, Dark Reign, hardcover, just came out, but it was already on sale at 40% off at the comic book shop that we went to yesterday. This is in my top 5 favorite Avengers arcs. Written by Dan Slott, art by Koi Pham. And if you listen to our audio podcasts on iTunes or Spotify, last week we posted that my top 5 favorite Avengers story arcs, and this is one of them. And they packaged the whole thing in a hardcover edition, and I am so happy. And Scott Hitchcock, he knows. He says, "All praise the Magic 8 Ball and its predictive powers." Scott is kind of like me. He is a retired magician, but he is one of the best that ever was in the world. He is awesome. And now he's doing other stuff and killing it. And I love you, Scott. We need to connect. One of my goals this year, Aubry, and we're going to do this today, we're going up to Louisville, is to travel more with friends and family. And I know that you can't go with us today, but I'm going to start giving you more advance warning. This was a last-minute trip, but we're going to go up to J&B Magic Shop today and do a spotlight on their shop for our YouTube channel. So some bonus content there. Now, 2 more things, and then we're going to get to our main topic. I got the Royal Rumble card game. Target, all board games are 25% off right now. So I picked this up. I love wrestling. I love board games. And this is a card drafting game. And I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. 2 of my favorite things in the world on one table. How cool. And then finally, we're going to get to our main topic. See, you guys can't see it, but my board game shelf is right here. And it's gotten very crowded over the Christmas season and will need to be purged or reorganized. Finally, last one.
Oh.
This is the Princess Bride board game from Ravensburger. Inconceivable. Wait, what just happened to my light? Oh,
yeah, autofocus or something.
That's weird. Yeah, so this is the Princess Bride board game, and super excited about this. 25% off at Target. Comes with the little miniature figures. I'm so excited. Now,
someone made me watch that movie recently because I had
made
never
you
seen
watch it. Made you watch it
because apparently it was one of his favorite movies of all time. So he was like, "You have to watch this," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah, I know. I feel so out of the loop. I don't know the video, and then I just recently watched The Princess Bride.
Did you love it?
It was funny. It was quirky.
Do you know that it is the most quoted movie of all time?
That's what he told me. That's why I had to watch it.
And Scott Hitchcock says, "Yeah, man."
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was a Macho Man reference. Ooh, yeah. Can you dig it? Bang, bang. I love Macho Man Savage. He's my all-time favorite. Greatest of all time. All right, so Aubry. Oh, I also got this. Cobra Kai.
Oh, I still have to watch that show.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. Yeah.
I made a friend on Twitter that loves that show, and I have to watch it, apparently. So.
Yeah, well, I love that show. I started it last night, and, I've got to be honest with you. I don't like binging shows. I fight really hard not to do it because I always feel this empty hole in my soul when I'm done. Because I'm like, what do I do now?
Right.
So I try to savor it. And I've got to admit, I watched the first 5 episodes last night. I couldn't stop. And I don't want to give spoilers away, but it was pretty epic. And I didn't want to stop. Now, before we get to our main title, we got some sponsors that I need to acknowledge. So, The Further Adventures of the League of Impossibilists, my webcomic with my cosplay group. The Further Adventures of the League of Impossibilists. That's available on Patreon at patreon.com/impossibilists. We are also brought to you this morning by Hot Sockets. They're so good, they'll leave you speechless and possibly unconscious.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Aubrey, time to talk about the best of 2020. And we'll start with you. I asked you guys, what your favorites were of 2020, and for video games, you said that you thought the best game of 2020 was this.
Yes.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
Tell us why this is better than The Last of Us 2 or I guess Final Fantasy VII, the remaster came out this year, and Cyberpunk 2077. I guess we don't even have to talk about
that one.
Yeah. So why is this better than The Last of Us 2? Because The Last of Us 2 got the media critic vote for best of the year.
Ghost of Tsushima had a very compelling story. It was made by Western developers, but they tackled the Japanese culture, especially around that time period, very well. I'm big on Japanese culture, so of course. The open world was very immersive. It was beautiful. In fact, I have pictures of it on my phone because that they have a photo mode where you can, which I did spend a lot of my time. I'm not even going to lie, because the landscapes, the sky, everything just looks so realistic and beautiful. So I think the only way you can get the pictures off of PlayStation is by tweeting them. So I had to save them from my tweets. But anyway, it had a very compelling story, really good writing, very good main character. Sucker Punch just really hit a home run with it, to be completely honest.
Now, does the game itself look as beautiful as that cover art?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because just this cover art alone makes me want to play it, and I'm not a gamer.
I could probably scroll through here and find my big collection of landscape pictures.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to acknowledge some comments here. Scott Hitchcock says, appropriate with Cobra Kai that you fight really hard. That's right. And Anthony Sakovich says, what show are you talking about? Just tuned in. Well, we were talking about Cobra Kai, Season 3. We're also going to talk about some other TV shows here in a minute. Carlin Stewart says, Walgreens, Targets, and comics and collectibles. # darn you. And Scott Hitchcock says, hot sockets. They will fork you up. That's good, Scott. That's real good.
Hopefully YouTube doesn't strike that one.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Oh, here we go. I can probably show them in the here we go. I had to go to Twitter to find it because I must have deleted them off my phone.
Oh, that's pretty.
And that was one of my favorite ones. I took that. The reflection.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, that's good. I like those are good looking. So that's your pick for best video game of 2020.
Yes. Go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, do our viewers agree or disagree? Post your comments and go ahead, Aubry.
I don't like being someone who bashes anything, but I could tell you why I don't believe that Last of Us 2 shouldn't have made it. Now, there are a good portion of people who loved it. I didn't play the first one, and I've been told to definitely do that. It's one of the best games. It looks really good, too. The second game, they kind of... you said you've never watched The Walking Dead, correct? Oh, sorry.
Just before you get into that, you can spoil it, but I just want to give our viewers a spoiler alert.
Right. I mean, I wasn't going to give super specifics, but I'm just going to say they did take a page out of The Walking Dead. Almost exactly. And watching compelling characters get taken out very brutally is harsh. That was what steered a lot of people away from The Walking Dead, is because they had to watch this guy with a baseball bat named Lucille bash somebody's very loved character's brains in, and then he also becomes a main character of the show. And that's a lot of people are going to be steered away from that. That's what the game did. Is the main character you play as in the first game, obviously, gets taken out. Since you put the spoiler, I'll go ahead and say it. And the new character that does it, you're forced to play as her for the rest of the game. Or not, well, a good portion of the game. And I didn't like that. And I feel like the narrative was very driven towards a certain political spectrum. Not political, but, social politics or whatever.
Yeah. Had an agenda.
And the lot of stuff they took out, like originally, Neil Druckmann, I believe, was the director. He took out a lot of his original content because he started listening to a podcast by Anita Sarkeesian. And if nobody knows who she is, I'll tell you about her in just a second. Just a quick thing, because just to give you an idea, she's very feminist, and she tries to judge movies and video games and stuff that she has no business talking about with her progressiveness. Now, being progressive is fine, but she is overkill. And
for those of you watching, Aubry and I are both on the conservative side of the spectrum. So everything that we do is seen through that lens. So continue.
Just a quick idea of what Anita Sarkeesian does is, for instance, when The Mandalorian first episode came out, she went to Twitter and got bashed for this, rightfully so, that there were no women in the first episode or women voices. And if everybody was just like, did you even watch the rest of the episode or just the first 20 minutes? And then she corrected herself and said, okay, but it took 19 minutes for a woman's voice to be heard. And
let's tell the story. Let's tell the story and focus on the story. And if a woman isn't part of the story until 19 minutes in, that's the way it is. But let's not get into all of that.
Yeah. I know. But anyway, I'm just giving you an idea of how repulsive she is, because even people that are on that political spectrum can't stand her because she's just overkill. And anyway, so he said, I almost made a anti-woman or unfeminist, something about anti-feminist game. So I had to go back and fix it because basically he started bowing down to Anita Sarkeesian. Mm-hmm. And one more quick thing is, just so I can point this out, is everybody who did like the game argues, oh, well, it sold 4 million copies in the first week. It was the fastest selling game. Second week, which journalists didn't talk about, is that sales dropped down by 85%. And then about, I think it was the second month, it was taken off of the top 20 of the PlayStation Store. So anyway.
Now, what was her name, that reviewer?
Anita Sarkeesian.
Anita Sarkeesian. Is Anita Sarkeesian going to attack us on Twitter? This says yes.
Did it really?
Yes.
You're lying.
No, it does. It says yes. I can't wait. Oh, I hope she does. Oh,
that would actually be really good, because anything she does attack actually gives
That's
it.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want it. All right. Any last thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima?
It did get the Player's Choice Award, which I believe it deserved more than, but it wasn't what journalists wanted. But it's a great game. Anybody who has a PlayStation 4 or anything, definitely, that's the game.
Now, Aubrey, do you? I know you're into sci-fi movies, TV, and video games. Do you also read comics?
I do not read comics, but I know a lot more than you would expect me to know for not reading them. Okay. A lot more.
Well, so comics is a big part of the show, and so I wanted to name my top series for 2020, and there were a lot of good series that came out this year. But I have to give it to Adventure Man. Adventure Man, speaking of strong women, Adventure Man follows the lead character. I believe her name is Claire. I'll have to look that up. Who is deaf initially, but she and her son are obsessed with the fictional adventures of Adventure Man, which are set in an alternate diesel punk, deco punk, 1920s Chicago, New York. It's kind of an ambiguous city. And no, I think it was New York. And through reading the stories, she comes across an artifact that gives her the powers and memories of Adventure Man. And it turns out the stories were all true. Mm-hmm. And it features a great story by Matt Fraction, beautiful art by Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson. And it gets my pick for #1 series of 2020. Now, I put this show together before I read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin #1. Last Ronin #1 is sold out everywhere. It's in its 4th printing. And I happened to get a copy on Wednesday and read it. And I will say that issue #1, because issue #2 doesn't come out until February, is the single best single story that I read in 2020. It's really fantastic. And I don't have a graphic to throw up for Last Ronin, but Adventure Man gets my pick for series of the year. Now, let's talk TV. A lot of great TV shows. And a lot of people will make the case for Lovecraft Country or Queen's Gambit for being the #1. But I got to go with, and this will be no surprise to you, Aubrey.
Yeah, I know.
The Mandalorian. This season was a complete joy for Star Wars fans everywhere. Would you agree?
I would have to agree. Before The Mandalorian, I would have to say The Boys was probably the most enjoyable thing I'd watched this year.
The Boys was really good. The Boys was this season. I did this every episode. What? That was my face constantly. It shocked me a lot.
Yeah,
and it was good. Before Mandalorian, I would have said Queen's Gambit. was the best series of the year.
My parents watched that, and I saw parts of it, and I could see why it pulls people in the way it did.
Oh, Aubry, it is riveting. You need to sit down and focus on it because it is phenomenal. Phenomenal. But you guys who are watching, what is your pick for the top TV series of 2020? Now, a lot of people will make the case for Lovecraft Country, and it was beautiful. It was maybe the best looking TV show I have ever seen in my entire life.
I didn't finish it, but I definitely probably should have, because it probably would have made more sense towards the end.
No, it really doesn't.
Oh.
I'm going to have to watch it again, and maybe with subtitles, because, and look, I watched it while I was in the bed with COVID. So I might have had some brain fog going on, but it made zero sense to me. The story did. But visually, it was gorgeous, and a lot of people like it. Now, Aubry, based on just my post-Christmas loot and what I show every week, that I am a big, big, big board game fan. I don't play video games. I play board games a lot. Now, are you into board games?
I haven't played any in forever, but...
That would be a no.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I like the physical, tactile interaction between people. That's why I love board games. And there were a lot of great games that came out this year. And I know that the people who are watching, who are maybe Dice Tower fans or follow Tom Vassell on the Dice Tower, are not going to agree with my pick at all. But for me, the best board game release this year, for me, was Last Defense.
That looks pretty cool, actually.
It is a really, really fun game. And I did a review of it on our Instagram channel. You can go back and find that. But it is, Aubry, it's a board game that plays like a video game. You see the little minifigs. Those are you. You play as townspeople, and the town is being invaded by aliens or monsters or a giant blob. And you have to save the scientists and bring them back to the plaza to save the city. But here's the deal. It uses an app on your phone. You see the phone there? It uses an app that has a 20-minute timer. It has a soundtrack. And as the game is going, news briefs will break in and say, oh, a gelatinous blob has just appeared at the shopping mall. And now you've got a new challenge that you have to face. And it introduces the monsters one at a time, and then it moves them around the board. And you've got 20 minutes as a team to defeat 4 of the 5 threats. And it is so much fun.
A lot of board games and card games and stuff are doing the app on the phone for group stuff.
Yeah. And I've not liked any of them before, but this one I liked a lot. And it was the most fun game I played this year. Now, I also got Unmatched, which I love, but that came out last year. And Unmatched is not quite, in my opinion, as exciting as Last Defense. But a lot of hardcore gamers are going to say, well, it's just a light game. It's 20 minutes. There's not a lot of strategy. There is strategy, but you're working together. The players are all working together as a team. And I love that. So you either win or you lose together. There's no one winner or one loser, which makes it a great game. Effort. Yeah, and it makes it a great game for families because no one's going to get their feelings hurt, right?
Right.
And yes, it is light. But it's a lot of fun, and that's what I think board games should be: is fun. Nobody's going to break up the family over that game. So Scott Hitchcock commented on Queen's Gambit. He said, "I really enjoyed the journey of Queen's Gambit. Yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster and a good one. I really enjoyed it." All right, so we don't talk about this a whole lot on this show, only because we normally don't have time to get to it, Aubry. but I'm a huge pro wrestling fan.
Oh.
So I wanted to talk about the pro wrestling superstar of the year. The one who I think is the biggest standout. Now, do you watch wrestling at all?
Not since I was little.
Okay, that's okay. A lot of people,
I even played the WWE. I think it was WWF. Well, that was a thing at one time. I played that game on PlayStation 1.
On PlayStation 1. All right. Well, I've been bemoaning for a while that there are no wrestling superstars that are transcending wrestling into pop culture and becoming pop culture superstars. And when I say that, what I mean is, where are the Hulk Hogans? Where are the Randy Savages, the Ric Flairs, Sting, Stone Cold, The Rock? Even John Cena is the last, and that's been like 5 years since he's really been an active wrestler. So I keep looking for that next superstar who transcends wrestling into pop culture. And this year, there was one WWE wrestler that stood out heads and tails above the rest. And this will create controversy. Fans are going to argue with me, but I'm going to give this to Mercedes Varnado, Sasha Banks. Now, if she looks familiar, Aubrey, that's
kind of does.
She was the character in The Mandalorian with Bo-Katan. She was, yes.
Okay.
So she appeared on 3 episodes of The Mandalorian. Was it 3 or 2?
I think it was 2.
Yeah, it feels like 3, but it was 2.
Yeah.
And she is the one who was equally matched with Boba Fett in the finale. And, one of the things that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and the rest of the directorial team on The Mandalorian are doing is letting the performers let their natural talent shine. And she is an amazing athlete. She's incredibly physical in the ring. And they let her bring that to The Mandalorian. That was her doing all of those stunts and fight sequences, just like Gina Carano and Ming-Na Wen are doing their own fight scenes and stunts. So
it did kind of, I'll just say that moment, I was just like, no, not Boba Fett. You can't take Boba Fett. And then it was just like, oh, wait, no, never mind. I guess you can.
Yeah. So Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado is my top superstar of 2020. Hey, I need to acknowledge a super fan of ours while the rest of our viewing audience gets their comments together. This episode is brought to you by Cindy Kep.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
And we are also brought to you by my new course in ventriloquism. You can be a ventriloquist in one day. It's never been easier. It's only $49.95 for the complete course, complete instructions, but your dummy is not included. Get yours today.
I imagine dummies aren't cheap. Or maybe they are. I don't know. I wouldn't think they would be cheap for a good quality one.
You're adorable. All right.
I know, I'm sorry.
All right. So we got about 10 minutes. We want to talk about a couple of other things. I want to talk about this.
That's gotten a lot of flack. I tried to watch a video from that guy I told you about, Yellow Flash, and he was going over about how it's not getting a lot of good reception. I like the color scheme though.
Well, so it's not, and you know, I don't know why Marvel chose to make this like an event, and it's coming in, I think, February or March. This new costume, and it's specific to a specific storyline where Spider-Man is going up against the Kingpin in some big fight
Again.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the Rogues Gallery, but here's the thing. This is a new look for Spider-Man, but it's going to be temporary. Look at this. These are the other outfits Spider-Man has had over the years.
Yeah. But people do find things to whine about, and
They do. It's so toxic.
And I really don't think that this one is that bad. It's actually a pretty decent design.
Well, you know that this will be downloadable. A downloadable skin for the Spider-Man games.
Ooh, that actually is kind of exciting.
Yeah, and gamers are going to go nuts over this.
Yeah, actually, it probably will look really cool, especially with the ray tracing graphics that they've implemented in the last two, the remaster of the first Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, and the Miles Morales.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be in Miles Morales or the remaster.
It'll be in the remaster probably, but we got a couple of comments here, a couple more comments. Let's see. Carlin Stewart says, I am Price as well. I don't know what that means, Carlin. Oh, you are priced well.
I figured he meant priced, yeah.
So I still don't know what that means, though. You're priced well, Carlin?
I could come up with a couple of jokes, but I
won't. Oh, wait. It's because, Aubry, you said dummies aren't cheap. And Carlin said, I am priced well.
When I said that, I was like, oh, somebody can make a joke out of that very easily.
Well, the joke is that the ventriloquist is wearing a surgical mask, and so is the dummy. That's why it's so easy to become a ventriloquist. You completely missed the joke, and that's why I said you were adorable, but that's okay.
Sometimes things go over my head.
That's right. Carlin said dummy is affordable. So in our last few minutes, Aubry, I can't believe we've already been here almost an hour. It feels like I know. Blind, first day with my new tongue, by in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people are complaining about how awful 2020 is. And I have this to say, or was, you know, a year is just a demarcation on the calendar to demark a certain passage of time. A year in and of itself cannot be good or bad. There are events that happen during that time period that can be challenges and opportunities, things that, you know, hone us or break us. But it's the way we react to those things that can be good or bad. And we have complete control over that. You know, I almost died with COVID, but, you know, I used it as an opportunity to pivot and make some life choices, changes that are going to improve my quality of life and the relationships with my friends and family. And, you know, will allow me to do more things like going to dinner with friends and going to movies and going on road trips with friends and, you know, spending time. I spent the last 2 days with my son, which isn't something I've been able to do in years. Scott Hitchcock says comedy is hard. Yes, it is, Scott. That's why I don't do it, because my mom told me I'm not funny. But Aubry, we talked about this last week. What was the best and worst of 2020? But what was the one thing or a couple of things in 2020 that happened or came out or that you saw or did that you just really thought were great? Now, I told you to be thinking about this in advance.
I know. I'm sorry. Really, those two games were the only thing that and the shows that came out during 2020 were probably the ones that we talked about, and maybe a couple others that I've watched.
And you became a co-host of a very growing in popularity podcast.
That too. Very, very true. Even though I've only been here for like a month, but
well, we've only been here for like a month. This is our 6th or 7th episode now. So
I've only been on 4. This is my 4th one.
I know, but you couldn't control last week.
I know.
And I did 2 episodes before 3 episodes before I asked anyone to join as a permanent co-host. So yeah, so you've been here and fans are loving you. And
I talk too much though.
No, you don't. No. Listen, if anyone talks too much, it's me. I can dominate the conversation very easily. And I'm trying to be really cognizant of that and making sure that you and Dee and all of our other guests get more time. And Carlin says, I knew you when. Yes, Carlin has been a very long-time friend of mine, at least 10 years, out of Memphis. All right, well, what do you want to see happen or do or experience or accomplish in 2021? You, Aubry.
Nothing that is of the topics today. Mainly just go back to school. Go back to school and major in psychology, but I don't know. I don't want to do online classes, so I'm just hoping for, not having to do that. That's mainly my main goal.
All right. Well, so for me, 2020, there were a lot of things that were challenges. I didn't even talk about what I thought the best movie of 2020 was. Some good movies came out, but we got 2 of the best direct for free for Disney Plus subscribers, Onward and Soul. Soul was absolutely the #1 movie of 2020. I'll fight anyone who wants to argue with me about that.
My sister said that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic movie. The best of 2020. We got the opportunity to reassess what is important to us amidst shutdowns and lockdowns and, political rivalries. And, we really had to, as a society, come to the table and say, this is important, this isn't important. And I think that's a good thing.
I think it is too.
In 2021, my goal is to grow this podcast to over 40,000 listeners, to travel more, to eat more good food, to spend more time with friends and family. And, my new book, Night Reich, will be coming out this year in 2021. We'll finish the League of Impossibilists webcomic, and it will be published in print sometime in 2021. So I've got a lot of goals, but the one thing that I want to see an end to toxic fandom. I am tired of fans destroying what they say they love, and I want to see an end to that. So that's my prayer. That's my hope and prayer. Magic 8 Ball.
Cancel culture just needs to go down a notch too.
Yeah, that's part of toxic fandom. Cancel culture. Will toxic fandom vanish in 2020?
No.
Reply hazy. Try again. Will toxic fandom vanish in 2020? Yes, definitely. The Magic 8 Ball has spoken. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And with that, guys, we are at the end of the hour. Can you believe it? And normally I would go longer, Aubry, but I've got to get ready to head out to Louisville this morning. And I've got people showing up to jump in the battle wagon and head on
Normally
up there.
I would want to go longer too, but I have to work today, so I understand.
So a lot of good stuff. And you guys watching, please continue to comment. Please continue to share this video. If you like it, if you like our show, share it with 200 or 300 of your closest friends and family. We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Cereal Box Podcast, of course, YouTube, Back at the Cereal Box. We're also on iTunes and Spotify. Just do a search for Back at the Cereal Box. And the other thing that I'm looking forward to in 2021, Aubrey, and hopefully next week, we'll be able to do a public reveal of our brand new logo.
Oh,
And we're going to be recording a theme song. And the theme song goes something like this. It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson, and Mickey Mouse. The first Star Wars, James Dean, Elvis Presley, still the king.
You can record it. You sound great.
Oh, thank you. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original. That's going to be our opening theme song. Looking for the right people to record it with. Hopefully the Murdering Crows will be able to contribute. And Aubrey, you will be singing with it with Dee. And I'm going to get JR Otto.
You just want the song to be butchered, don't you?
No, I want to have the whole chorus in the background. It'll be awesome. It'll be fantastic. All right. Well, guys and gals, that is it. So like I said, if you like the show, share it. If you're on YouTube, post a comment. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, like it, comment, share this video. And until the next time, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the flip.